Samaná Bayport is a key infrastructure project for the peninsula that will completely change the investment landscape of Samaná. For a long time, Samaná remained a beautiful but underrated region of the Dominican Republic. Unlike Punta Cana, development here has been more organic and gradual, without mass construction or aggressive tourism. However, today the situation has fundamentally changed. The Samaná Bayport project is quickly becoming the very infrastructure trigger that is now moving Samaná into a brand new investment league, both for private individuals and large corporate investors. Bayport is not simply a port for cruise ships. It is a systemic factor that is steadily driving up the value of land, commercial real estate, and residential development projects. By the way, the latest news and newly launched projects are always posted first on our Telegram channel. What is Samaná Bayport and why is it so critically important? Samaná Bayport is a modern cruise port designed to accommodate large international liners, complete with full-scale tourist, commercial, and logistics infrastructure. And the key point is that, for the first time, Samaná will have direct, regular access to mass cruise tourism. For Samaná, this means a stable and predictable flow of thousands of tourists. It is expected that once the port is operating at full capacity, the tourist flow will reach up to 10,000 visitors daily. Tourists mean increased demand for excursions, restaurants, shopping, transportation, and services. If we look at global practice in the Caribbean, the Mediterranean, Mexico, we can see a clear scenario of how the effect of a cruise port works in reality. The first stage is the launch of infrastructure. The port opens and a guaranteed flow of tourists appears. Businesses begin to adapt to the new demand. The second stage is the growth of commercial real estate. Commercial properties within a 30-minute drive from the port are the first to increase in value. Tourist corridors are formed to the most popular and beautiful places around the port, and rents for commercial spaces in these areas rise sharply. The third stage is the growth of residential real estate. Investors and developers enter the market with the construction of apartments for both long-term and short-term rentals. Long-term rental prices rise sharply as demand increases for housing for staff, entrepreneurs, and service company workers. And short-term rentals tend to go up in price because the large and steady tourist flow from cruise ships eventually brings more tourists to the region, people who visited, enjoyed the place, and now want to come here not on a cruise ship, but for a full extended vacation. Samaná is currently transitioning from the first to the second stage, which is widely considered the best time for investors to enter the market. Commercial real estate is the fastest beneficiary. For commercial real estate investors, Samaná Bayport opens up a unique window of opportunity. The most promising formats are retail spaces for various types of shops, cozy cafes, and a wide range of restaurants, as well as for excursion offices and service points. Transport rentals, all kinds of tours, water activities, medical and wellness services for tourists are becoming the most popular here. And all these businesses need premises. What is especially important is that cruise tourists are limited in time. They are mainly concentrated in specific locations, often in popular and interesting places, not far from the main cruise ports. Businesses here experience a high density of customers and, accordingly, high revenue, which directly leads to an increase in the rental price per square meter for commercial spaces. Historically, commercial properties near cruise ports have shown some of the highest returns. This is also where the most expensive rent is found. The launch of the port, after some time, creates the conditions for attracting regular non-cruise tourists to the region. And this, in turn, increases the demand for short-term rentals. As demand grows, rental prices rise over a wider area. The increase in rental rates automatically drives up property values in the region. The rapid rise in prices is also driven by the increasing cost of construction, which has resulted from the sharp increase in land prices. In this case, due to the opening of the Samaná Bayport, the real estate market in the city of Las Terrenas will benefit the most, as it is located less than half an hour's drive from the new cruise port and is undoubtedly the jewel of the Samaná Peninsula. It is here that the flow of tourists from arriving cruise ships will go. And it is also here that regular vacationers will come, since there is already a well-developed infrastructure, plenty of restaurants and shops, and at the same time, the kilometer-long deserted beaches of the Samaná Nature Reserve are just half an hour away. There will be especially high demand for quality apartments and villas located close to the sea. and all kinds of infrastructure. And as practice shows, the more luxurious the property, the higher the demand for it. A difference of $30 to $50 per night does not scare off tourists who come here for a short stay. They are willing to pay extra for higher quality accommodation and better service. But more budget-friendly real estate is also in demand here, as it is very popular among retirees who come here to spend the winter. Their budget is usually limited, and they choose more affordable rental options. Samaná is not Punta Cana, and in this case that's an advantage. Samaná is developing according to a European boutique model rather than the model of mass all-inclusive resorts. The advantage of this model is wealthier tourists, less competition, organic development, and unique nature, bays, mountains, beaches, waterfalls, and untouched jungles. Samaná is exclusive. This means a higher quality of tourists, higher business margins, and more sustainable price growth. And although the port is still under construction, with completion scheduled for the end of 2026, the first terminal is already open. And the very first ever cruise ship from Virgin Voyages officially docked right here on December 3rd, 2025, which was just 10 months after the beginning of construction on such an incredibly grand and ambitious project. This once again shows how quickly everything is built in the Dominican Republic. The terminal is already fully operational. Certification has been obtained. And here is the schedule of cruise ship arrivals at the port for January 2026. Many cruise companies have already included Samaná Bayport in their cruise itineraries. And this is just the beginning. During 2026, 2 more terminals will open and the Samaná Peninsula will experience a literal explosion of tourist traffic. The conclusion from everything said is that the Samaná Bay cruise port is a point of no return for the Samaná real estate market. For investors entering early today, given the extremely small number of properties currently under construction here, means an increase in rental yields, a rise in property values, and a significant shortage of quality properties over the next 3 to 5 years. The biggest money in real estate is made not when high returns are already obvious to everyone, but when infrastructure is just beginning to change the rules of the game. And for investors in commercial and residential real estate, Las Terrenas today is one of the most interesting and undervalued markets in the Caribbean region for the coming years. And our company is the exclusive representative of the region's key developers. And here we offer both commercial and residential real estate purchases at the construction stage. Links to our projects can be found in the description of this video. There you will also find a link to schedule an online appointment to get more detailed information about our projects. We know this market inside and out and will help you invest your capital as profitably as possible. See you again on the channel.